The Browns, we talked about injuries to start the show, have sustained a handful of crippling injuries this year, but they're still 8-5. Very few teams, I think, can lose their quarterback one and their superstar running back and still be in the position the Browns are. So, taking everything into consideration here, everything we know, if you could reverse, essentially undo a season-ending injury to a Browns superstar this season, would you undo the injury to Nick Chubb, Deshaun Watson, or someone else? But I think it's between DW4 and Nick Chubb. Jay, you want to start?
Well, I was shocked this was even a question. I want to see if someone goes the other way.
This is a very dangerous game you're playing here, McNuggets.
I want to know where y'all go.
So let me give you some facts. Okay?
Oh, Lord.
This is funny.
By the way, before
I
you
thought
go,
it was
Jay, hold on. Before
I
you
thought
go,
this was a layup.
it is funny that you guys all say it's a layup, but no one wants to go first.
I'd love to go first.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer, Nick Chubb.
I don't think it's a no-brainer. I think the right answer is Deshaun Watson, but I'm saying Nick Chubb. But the right answer is probably Deshaun Watson. Because quarterback's the most important position.
You getting you getting good quarterback play right now.
The last 2 weeks, we've got nice quarterback play.
I know, but he had 2 good weeks last year for the Jets and had to go after that.
But the only thing
what we know now
is our run game. If we had a run game, I'd be so confident.
Yeah, we're talking about one of these players is, if not the best at his position, he's top 3.
I believe
Deshaun Watson is not top 3.
I believe that Jay Crawford and G. Bush said the Browns running game was elite a month ago. Is that not the case anymore?
Listen, I still
who said that?
They both said it.
I still like our run game.
Y'all said that?
Yes. I don't know that we said elite.
Oh,
I said we need to run the ball more. I've always said that. And I still think our run game, you're walking it back. You walked it back on yesterday.
Y'all said elite?
I'm dropping back in the bushes.
They used the word elite.
What did you say?
What I said was, I like our running game. It's like that the Simpsons where he slides back into the bush. Right. Yeah. His G Bush sliding back into the bush.
No, wait.
Jay's pulling the I didn't say it card.
I still think.
When y'all said it, that was the week where they had 150 yards.
That was the one big game they had.
We was balling back then.
When I said it, they were number 2 in rush.
They was hot.
Or number 3.
They was number 2.
In rushing yards, they were top 3.
They was top 3.
What I'm going to say right now, the reason I would make the case for Nick Chubb over Deshaun Watson is because if Nick Chubb was in right now, this offense is exactly what Kevin Stefanski pictures his offense to be.
Yes.
He wants to run the ball. He wants to run play action off of it. Just imagine if Nick Chubb was there and being dominant in the run game, the play action would be even more wide open, and Joe Flacco would make the easy throws. I mean, it would be a slam dunk. With Deshaun Watson, the playbook would be you got half of what he wants, half of what Kevin wants, and then you got to try to compromise in the beginning, and they just haven't been on the same page. It looked good for a while, but there still seems to be something missing where those two just aren't connecting 100% right now. But with Joe Flacco, he's doing exactly what it is that Kevin Stefanski envisions his quarterback should do. Yeah. You give him a great running game, this team is a Super Bowl.
Now again, I feel like an insane person
I agree with
saying Nick Chubb. I really do. But it is Nick Chubb. Yeah, it is.
I mean, you shouldn't feel insane. I think
I feel
everybody
insane
says
because
Nick Chubb.
Well, Deshaun Watson, despite some struggles, has still played, in my opinion, the 2 best games by quarterback this year.
Really?
The Titans game and the Ravens game.
Oh, I thought Joe eclipsed that Sunday. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
You think he played better than Watson in Tennessee?
Oh, no question. Yeah, no, it's not even a question.
He had 2 turnovers.
What are you looking at me? Look at the numbers.
He had 2 turnovers.
Who did?
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, the interception on him?
Yes.
No, it's not. No. Anybody that watches football knows that interception's not on him.
It was still a bad throw, but it was a terrible
throw. It was a timing throw, and he threw it when he was supposed to throw it because the route got interrupted. That's not even debatable. That's not debatable. Look. You played safety.
I didn't see the pick.
You didn't see the interception?
I saw it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Well, someone and more ran into it.
They showed an ISO replay of the crossers.
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those interceptions. The ball's got to be out of his hand when he threw it.
I'm not saying that's a Flacco interception.
No, it wasn't. Now,
the strip sack is definitely.
He's got to feel that pressure.
Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Right now, I'm about to see it. Give me a second.
The receivers run into each other. That's not on Flacco.
No, it's not on Flacco.
Oh, yeah. You
can't dig him for that.
He should have.
It wasn't a good throw.
No,
to throw it in the dirt.
You know what he wanted? A string so he could pull the ball back after it was out of his hand.
He should have saw it, threw it. Oh, and just threw it in the dirt.
He's throwing to his spot. He knows he's got to throw it when he throws it. Now the route was interrupted and the receiver didn't get there, so it was a pick. Clearly I'm not dinging him for that. On the sack, yeah, he's got to feel that pressure. And it was, and oftentimes this is the case with a strip sack by a quarterback. It was a millisecond from being out of his hand. His arm was disrupted. The ball came out. It was a fumble.
I would still say that the Watson against the Titans was the best game. Watson against the Ravens was the second, and this was third, in my opinion.
Wait, you've got Watson with 2 better games than Joe.
Yeah, Watson against the Ravens. He was perfect in the second half.
And he was horrible in the first half.
He
was 4 of 16 in the first half.
He led them to a victory over the best team in the AFC.
Understand, but I'm not going to give P.J. Walker points because he beat San Francisco. I'm going to judge the player on his performance.
That's a bad comparison.
And I can't take that first half in Baltimore out of the mix.
That's a bad comparison.
He was 4 of 16.
It's a bad comparison.
Well, it's got to be a full game for me. And for me, I think Joe Flacco has played the best game of quarterback. Now, the other question, too, is on the, what you're losing. I think in Nick Chubb, you're losing a top 3 at his position.
It's not even.
And I love the way you framed the argument.
Oh, thank you.
This team, well, what does it take to win a Super Bowl? We know it takes a great defense. We know it takes a good passing game.
It doesn't take a great defense.
We know it takes a good. Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
We know.
What's the last great defense to win a Super Bowl?
Listen, don't argue with them on this. Don't do it.
I'm sorry. Only Jay's entitled to an opinion, apparently.
No.
Well, you've cut me off 3 times and dismissed my opinion in the past 5 minutes.
You're fine to have that opinion.
Okay.
What I'm saying is,
when's the last great defense to win a Super Bowl?
We've gone down this rabbit hole many times.
So answer the question.
Bull,
answer the question.
Is this a passing league now, like it was 2 years ago?
Answer the question. When's the last great defense to win a Super Bowl?
We looked this up. We did the whole thing where we talked about how the Niners had a great defense.
When was that?
When they last won a Super Bowl?
When
they beat Baltimore? When
did that? Was it 10 years ago?
Bull. So none of that matters. Great defenses have never won Super Bowls?
You just said you have to have a great defense to win a Super Bowl.
I believe you do.
We haven't had a great...
I believe you do.
Jay, we haven't had a great defense win a Super Bowl in a decade.
I'm going to whisper now. This is Bull taking us down a rabbit hole. Bull.
What you said was patently absurd.
Okay, fine.
It was patently absurd.
Okay, so Bull's opinion is that you don't need a great defense to win a Super Bowl.
No, you don't.
And guess what?
That's been proven with facts.
I honor and recognize the man from New York.
And that's been proven with facts.
Now, that being said,
and that's been proven with facts.
So we don't get off this beaten path and go down a rabbit hole that
I don't know why you got to bring up New York, but you like to do that.
What I'm going to say to you, Tyvis, is I love the way you framed your argument.
Well, thank you.
The thing that this team could most use now is Nick Chubb. And I don't think that's debatable. If you told me right now you can have Chubb back or Watson back, that's a decision.
And to answer the question, it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That was a while ago.
That was 3 years ago.
When Tom Brady won?
They had to stop the Chiefs.
They didn't have a great defense. What are you
stopped
talking about? They had Tom Brady.
That defense was the first defense to keep the safeties high and make Patrick Mahomes.
Because the Chiefs had no offensive line that year. Do you remember when they all got hurt?
True.
They didn't.
He had no time.
Defense still won them game.
Again, nobody said you got to have a crappy defense.
I'm just saying.
Their defense was good. It was fine, just like the Rams' defense was good. But they didn't. None of those teams had a great defense.
So
give me a break.
Of the 3 parts, the components, defense, we always hear in the playoffs, what travels? Defense
in the run game.
So give me those things. Now, obviously, you're going to need a passing game too. I think the Browns' passing game, and I love the point Mary Kay made about us getting too excited because I've heard some other people make that same point.
Yeah, they did 30th in pass defense.
Don't drink too much of that Kool-Aid because we can't expect that every week from Joe Flacco.
Yeah, they didn't have a number 1 corner and they didn't have a nickel.
And even with, they're 30th ranked against the pass. So I don't think we can try to extrapolate those numbers out. Joe Flacco's not going to do that the rest of the season. All that being said we had a small body of work from Watson. We have an even smaller body of work from Joe Flacco. I think Watson threw 7 touchdowns in 5 games. Flacco's thrown 5 in 2. I don't think our run game has regressed. I think our passing game has regressed. I'll make the point that it's gotten better. But I will not have to argue with anybody that our run game has regressed. We all recognize that.
We do? You just said it was elite a month ago.
It can be elite and still regressed. You lost Nick Chubb. You're going to make the argument it got better?
Of course it didn't. You're the one who said it was good. I've been saying it's mediocre the whole year.
Where are they right now? We haven't looked at their rank.
Who cares about their rank of total yards?
Oh, we don't care about that right now. Okay.
I've never cared about that, Jay.
right now.
You're the only one who brings that up.
7.
I've never cared about that. Never.
They're currently, even though Bull doesn't care about rankings in this particular argument.
I have never cared about
They are
Jay.
currently ranked
Jay, can you give me an
7.
example of when I said total rushing yards matter?
No,
Never.
Don't care.
Because
I
I've never.
don't.
Well,
I don't remember all of those things
Because I've never
all
done
I'm
it.
saying is,
I'm consistent.
Right now,
I'm like you.
I love it when you poke them now. It's everything's going to be a fight. It doesn't have to be a
You're
fight.
the one who
Bull.
keeps starting these things. All right, go ahead.
I started these things. I made a point about the defense has to be great, and you jumped
Because
on my
it's not
throat.
true.
Mom, settle this, Mike.
It's not true.
Let's move to the next topic.
Oh, no, I just want to hear G. Bush weigh in. G. Bush
Chiefs
has been
defense
silent for
wasn't
about
great
10 minutes
last year.
Y'all was supposed to skip me.
Man,
I was waiting on
No,
the punt.
because I want one person here
I,
to say.
I wanted to punt. Bjorkes.
would you take Watson? Would you take Watson?
Yeah,
He is
Jack
going to take.
Conklin.
He is going to take Deshaun Watson.
Mike
Listen.
will take Watson.
All right, so
Mike won't.
He will.
I actually just told Anthony, I think 99 out of 100 times you take the quarterback. I actually would take Chubb in this instance.
Good job.
I talked myself
Good
out
job
of it
out of
last
you.
night.
And Mike got
Jason took Watson, though. Jason took Watson.
Mikey got to put that little sneaky little stat up there when he plays the full games. He gotta
Steve, give me
sneak-
13.
Yeah.
Who,
he got
Deshaun?
it. He put it in. He don't give you no context on it. You look at this, you like, oh, this is a no-brainer. The only reason I'm pausing here is because the 14 out of 14 on the bad ankle
Was no arm.
Oh, bad arm.
Yeah, arm.
Bad arm. But he was hurt. He was hurt before. He had an ankle injury too.
Did he have an ankle?
Yeah,
He had a
the
broken.
sprained
He
ankle,
did that with a broken
He
shoulder.
did that with a broken
Not against
shoulder.
the 30th ranked defense,
And
but
an
one of
ankle.
the best defenses in the league.
And he did that, and he beat the best team in the league on the road.
He did.
I can't just not see that. I can't.
You got a point.
I mean,
G, can I give you a counter? I'm not a counter, but a supporting argument. The way I looked at this question was, if you had that version of Deshaun Watson, which we had seen him rising, he was playing better, could you win a Super Bowl with Jerome Ford and that version of Watson?
heck yeah.
Or on the flip side, can you win a Super Bowl with Nick Chubb and Joe Flacco?
I think you can win with
I
both.
think
you win it both ways.
Heck yeah.
Both.
That's the problem.
Win it both
Yes.
ways.
Like, because Nick Chubb, Nick Chubb gives you something when there's no line. It don't even matter.
But
I think they
there's-
got
but
they
there's-
got a better chance to win it with that Watson and Jerome Ford.
Yes, they do.
No. There is a one thing in this whole argument that makes me go with Joe and Nick. Joe's did it.
He has.
And everybody
Yeah.
talks about Eli Manning's performances
Yeah, but that
when
was
he went
10
on
years ago.
when he went on the road and did Joe Flacco's Super Bowl performance was
was great.
his run in the
He was
playoffs
great.
is
I know
up
he's done
there.
it. He's done it. There's got to be something
I'm buying.
that counts for something.
I'm buying the Joe. I trust me. I bought the Joe Flacco. Dang, man, I'm gonna have to say this.
You feel like he can stay healthy for another 8 games to win the Super Bowl?
I got G in a mental press.
I mean, listen,
That's a
you
big-
feel like Deshaun can stay healthy for
No,
another
I don't.
We've seen that movie.
I don't think any quarterback can stay
But
healthy right
the
now.
thing for me is, like, I love Deshaun, but the last time Deshaun was, I can't get the Kansas City, the Texans versus Kansas City game out of my head, and I think that bothers me a little bit. Where I know, at least with Joe, at least I know he's done it and he's won it all, so it's like he knows what it takes to get there. Deshaun hasn't.
Deshaun won a national championship. Come on, Ty.
That's not the NFL. It's
That's
different.
a bad comparison.
So did
Look at all
I.
the Heisman
So
trophies
did I. Let me nuggets. So did I.
You never
And for
take
some
one.
reason,
You're
I
right.
am sitting
I-
here
I-
today.
right.
So
I will say this.
what are we talking
Slow
about?
pan.
I'm curious if you agree with this. For the rest of this year, it makes sense. I'm in agreement with you guys. I would take Nick Chubb for the rest of the year. If it's the offseason and I said I can only bring back either Watson or Chubb
No,
next
that's
year,
different.
Yeah,
then I would
Watson.
bring back Watson.
Yeah, that's
For
different.
right now.
For right now,
for
I would
today,
bring back Chubb.
For today.
Crazy, but I
It's a
would.
clean sweep.
For today. If you said Nicholas Chubb is back in a Browns uniform and he is Nick Chubb,
And the trade-off is you got to go with Flacco at quarterback.
yeah, I think the Browns would go. I think they wouldn't lose no more.
I'm not prepared to go that far.
But I think Nick Chubb is that special to where now it's just
It gives you another.
it gives a
offense.
whole nother thing. It's a
What's
whole
sad is
nother-
we couldn't get all of them lined up at the same time.
Yeah, it just hurts. It hurts, but it's very. Listen, let me be clear.
It's close.
It's very close.
That Deshaun Watson that I seen against the Ravens, that's different. Like that's a special. He gets people to play harder. Like the fact that he came in and they was writing him off. Listen, and by the way, the Tennessee Titans, I think 4 footballs hit the ground. 4. Like, let's not act like Deshaun Watson was not that
Yeah,
dude.
G,
The problem was we only saw it for that game.
Yes.
And then the half of the Ravens game.
Yeah.
If we had seen it more, I would have taken
I
Watson.
would have took Watson. It's
If
close,
you could
though.
guarantee me we'd get that Watson, I'd take Watson.